Violence sweeping our streets.
Who they gonna do it to next?
Teenagers shot and killed in front of their own homes.
Every time something happens, nobody knows anything.
Families living in fear. But tonight, there's hope and a path to success for the kids who need it most. As our community comes together for My Future, My Choice, a Local 10 News Town Hall meeting, live from the historic Lyric Theater in Overtown. Moderating tonight, Calvin Hughes and Lori Jennings.
Welcome to the historic Lyric Theater in Overtown. Built in 1913, this has been a major entertainment center for African Americans. It's now part of the National Registry of Historic Places. Good evening, I'm Lori Jennings.
And I'm Calvin Hughes. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. The historic Lyric Theater has been a gathering point for so many people here in Overtown for decades now, but tonight we're not here to talk about a musical performance or a play. We're here to bring this community together.
64 people have been murdered in Miami-Dade County this year so far. It's only April. 7 of those victims were children or teenagers.
We're here tonight to talk about solutions and not just the problem, and to provide a path to success for kids who need it most. We're going to begin our program tonight with Local 10 News reporter Glenna Milberg.
All units, make it a 315, 4 people shot.
We have bullet holes in our wall.
The images dominate the news.
It's like they become numb to it.
It comes in waves, the primal scream of anger and grief.
I'm hurt. I miss my grandchild.
Lose my child.
The silence of profound loss.
They don't know what they do for a second to our family that has lost a child.
The helpless confusion about how to staunch the loss of innocence.
When I heard the shots, I ran out the house. I ran everywhere around here asking, where's King? And me, I had to find my son in the corner with his eyes open.
Police officers compile the numbers, sometimes daily. We learn their names and what they might have become.
It's hard, it's weary. There's nothing that you can say sorry for your loss, because you say sorry for something that you can take back, but you can't take this back.
The culture of violence that festers in South Florida neighborhoods rests with usually young, misguided or unguided, hardened and hopeless souls with access to guns.
Sitting back and watching other kids dying and how the world is crazy.
There's a failure somewhere.
Where is the failure and where is the fix?
There is the story on the street, and then there is the big picture. And where better to go for that than to the journalists who have been covering this community for decades.
In the earlier days, there was a sense of community. It was segregation, and we were in these neighborhoods where the doctors, school teachers, librarians lived next door to the maids, janitors. Everyone was in the same community.
Opportunity and mobility meant getting out, but left behind were those stuck in poverty and isolation.
If the only thing you see are the people on the streets selling drugs with guns, that's your focus, and that's all you know.
Back in my day, we had people who we looked up to.
People to look up to is a recurring theme of success.
What would you define for yourself as success?
Getting a job, living great, a good house by myself, independent.
A good job and a career, that's success.
Success is really, to me, waking up to see another day.
Defining success is personal. The defining common denominator is the example, the role model, a parent, a guide, a mentor, someone showing the way.
How do you get that message to these kids that there's some other things to do, some other cool stuff to do, stuff that they would enjoy doing once they know about it? One of the things that I find is that information is not trickling down fast enough.
Information and choice. Like never before, the community is reeling from the heartbreaking consequences of bad choices and focused on breaking that cycle.
It's just time for the community to get together and figure out what to do for our youth.
In our audience tonight, our guests are wearing these bands we've provided, My Future, My Choice. You see them on everyone's wrists. This is our message tonight. because we want young people to understand they're making bad choices, terrible choices, because they're choosing violence when they don't see hope. They can't imagine their future. So Local 10 is starting a multi-year, multifaceted, station-wide initiative to show kids and youth that there is an alternative, there is a choice. Calvin is on stage to begin the conversation.
Lori, thank you so much. I'm joined by two men here who really need no introduction. They have put in more than 7 decades, as young people like to say, work in the community. And I'll give you their titles, though. T. Willard Fair, the president and CEO of the Miami Urban League, and Alberto Carvalho, the superintendent of Miami-Dade Public Schools, and was once voted just a couple of years ago the superintendent of the year for the entire country. Thank you both for joining me today. And T. Willard, for you, you've been here, I'll begin with you since he is the elder statesman here, more than 50 years you've been here. Young people are killing young people on the streets. How did we get here?
Why should we be surprised? The parents of the young people have failed. The responsibility for their behavior is ours. We dropped the ball. So it's incumbent upon us to do what we've got to do to receive them back to us. You got a theme, says, my future, my choice. Well, there's a gap between my future and my choice. And whether or not the kids make the right choice depends upon the environment in which they grow up in, the environment in which they're raised in. If you think you can make the right choice being raised by some crazy parents, that ain't gonna work. If you think you can make the right choice and you leave your house and go out into the neighborhood and everybody that you see made the wrong choice, that ain't gonna work. So part of us has to say that we've got to make sure that we clean up all of those things that influence the choice-making process. And we make the community as pristine and as clean as is humanly possible. And we get rid of all of those bad examples that give the foundation that you can make these kinds of choices and survive. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's about the behavior and the attitude and the willingness of those of us who are adults.
Mr. Carvalho, I have heard so many people say, even last night out in the Liberty Square housing area, they said a lack of education is part of this. Do you accept some of the blame for what's happening here, or you think there are pre-existing conditions before the kids even get to school?
I think we all must accept part of the blame, but we cannot scapegoat the ills of our society on other people or something that fails to really account for the condition before us. For those who say, you know what, these kids are doing this simply because they can't read by 3rd grade, they're ignoring the opportunity gaps that these children have faced from the moment they were born. Homelessness, poverty, unemployment, underemployment, lack of appropriate health care. I mean, where we are right now, we're a block away from an area in our city where the average longevity exceeds this community by 15 years. We're failing our elderly in this community. We're failing the young kids. So education is a very important factor in this equation, but there are so many factors that impact kids before they get to 3rd grade or kindergarten. And if we do not address those up front, we'll spend millions of dollars in remediation rather than investing smartly in prevention. If we guarantee every single kid health screening as early as possible, a free ride to entertainment that's positive in nature, nurturing conditions, early childhood that's high quality, if they have access to good food and safe environments in which to play, then they're ready to learn. But often, the crushing, defeating weight of the conditions around them are very difficult to be remediated by teachers. Notwithstanding that, we should take pride in the fact that kids from these neighborhoods are succeeding. In fact, succeeding at levels unparalleled anywhere else in the country. Our graduation rate is higher than the state average. We stand as the one urban district that outperforms all other urban districts on NAEP. So yes, education is key, but we should not scapegoat it all on education, because that simply stands as an excuse for the other elements of the community, as social ills that we failed to address. Look, every single academic gap is preceded by opportunity gaps. If you don't address the opportunity gaps, academic gaps will exist, and if we do not intervene aggressively, then they become arresting economic, generational gaps in our community.
So the superintendent is too intelligent for me on that answer. You know, once again, if the schools are bad, the question for me, why aren't the parents of the children outraged? Why don't they go to PTA meeting and take care of the bad schools? So it's their responsibility. No, if the schools are bad, but when you come to Liberty City, no, we can't even pay them to come to PTA. No, when you come to Liberty City, if it was Coral Gables by the Sea and the schools were bad, the principal would get fired and everybody would have to leave Dodge. So if the schools are bad, blame the parents for not getting outraged.
So Mr. Fair, I have heard you say, because there have been a number, dozens of children who have died since 2015, but I've heard you say, and this, I think it's a fairly controversial statement, that children were dead before they were killed.
I've never made a controversial statement in my life. So I don't know who told you that, but I did say that. You know, because once again, if you come to Liberty City and see children who are screamed at, who are not fed properly, who when they're hungry, they're told, get it yourself, who get up in the morning to try to go to school and have to go to the corner and get a piece to wear to school of something that was washed 3 weeks ago to go to school, who does not care whether or not they come back or not, and please don't come back when Oprah is on, because you create some problems. So many of the children are already dead before they kill them, because we have killed them by our neglect, by our refusing to embrace them, to say that we want them to be their best. We have not demonstrated love and compassion in spite of the circumstances. So if you don't have anything to live for, dying is insignificant.
Mr. Fair, and so Mr. Carvalho, solutions, we have a short amount of time, solutions that you think could help rectify the problem and bring us out of this, because you know better than anybody, there's an opportunity behind every crisis.
I'll give you 5 solutions. Number 1, a much more aggressive stance in terms of the community in demanding high-quality child care, particularly in certain zip codes. He's right. There isn't a single bad child care center in Coral Gables. There should be nothing but excellent child care centers in Overtown, Liberty City. Secondly, we decided early on that kids who don't attend school don't succeed, don't get to graduate. So we launched I Attend. We need the community to send their kids to school. Don't keep them home. We have clinics. If they're sick, we can actually provide health care. Third, we were the first system in the country to eliminate outdoor suspensions, because if you suspend the same kids time and time again, these are the same kids who will never graduate from school. So now we have success centers, additional coaches to reorient kids. And then, 2 additional points that really don't belong to me, belong to law enforcement. The issue of community policing, and I know both the chief of police from Miami-Dade and City of Miami are engaged in that to reconnect with communities that have lost trust. They're doing a good job. And lastly, it's about early intervention, prevention, enforcement, and reentry. We cannot give up on those kids who have already stumbled and fallen. We need to reorient them into positive activities in our community.
I have to wrap it up, Mr. Fair. I was hoping to come back to you, but certainly this is the beginning of the discussion. Mr. Carvalho, Mr. Fair, thank you both for being here with us right now. Thank you very much. And I'll send it over now to my colleague here, Lori Jennings. Lori.
Calvin, I'm joined now by Shirley B. Johnson. She is the head of the Miami-Dade County branch of the NAACP. Shirley, yours is the oldest civil rights organization in the country. You've seen this problem spike many times. Do you have specific programs toward a solution?
Absolutely. The NAACP is the oldest, the most influential civil rights organization in this nation, 107 years old. We have been here for 107 years old, fighting the good fight. I was a child of the civil rights movement. I grew up. And yes, the programs that we have is under the Youth and College Division. These are programs not just to say something that we are doing, but it is organized.
Do the kids know about it? How do you reach the kids?
We reach the kids in a lot of ways. First, social media. That is one of the biggest ones that they have.
Where can they go?
and they can come to the resource room. And we call the resource room because the resource room is the room in Carroll City, or we know Miami Gardens now. That resource room is there for the children and for the community. They meet every Monday from 6 o'clock to 7:30. We have taken them all over the country. They know how to register voters. As a matter of fact, last week, we were out there on the streets telling people to come. And
you have hundreds of kids involved?
Hundreds of kids.
That is a solution.
We are the largest in the state of Florida.
Kudos to Miami-Dade County. Shirley B. Johnson, NAACP, thank you so much. We want to keep this conversation alive with you at home as well. We want you to get involved in this, just like Shirley was saying, reaching out. So join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag #MyFutureMyChoice. We want to hear your questions, your comments right now, and we may be able to share some of those on air, so do keep them coming. Our conversation is just getting started. Next up, 2 teenage victims of violence attacked walking home from school. Now they're stepping up to make a change to help others like them. We continue live from the historic Lyric Theater in Overtown right after this short break.
Really is their choice. And Local 10 Janine Stanwood spoke with some very special kids who have seen pain, but they overcame.
Although it's hard, we can get over it. Like, we can move on.
A stroll through Charles Hadley Park brings back really tough memories for Grace and Joshua Strawn. It was April 2011 when they were 7th graders walking home after using the park's printer. Suddenly, robbers attack, stealing their laptop and kicking Grace in the teeth.
It all happened so fast.
Joshua is beaten. Their dad runs to the park to find the attackers, who to this day have never been caught.
That night, I was crying and everything. He told me to stay strong.
You'd think a brutal beating like that would have broken these kids. Think again. In the 5 years since the crime, these siblings say they focused on healing and excelling in school. Grace was accepted to Xavier University.
Major in psychology and minor in business, or maybe do a double major.
As for Joshua?
Hopefully the University of Florida. I want to major in sociology and minor in business management.
They say their parents have been their rock.
I just know they're going to be successful at whatever they decide to do, and I just want them to be happy.
So when they hear about all the other South Florida kids who were victims of crime, 2 teenagers were recently shot and killed, they tell us they know not everyone has the support at home like they have. It's part of why Grace wants to be a psychologist and work with people vulnerable to turning to crime.
When you think about violence, you more see it as an interpersonal issue.
Joshua thinks there ought to be more programs to help victims. Together, they are survivors.
No one has to go through something alone. We can have each other to back each other up.
You can't let that one event define your entire life.
What a great story, and guess what? Guess who's here with us tonight? Mom, Pamela Strawn, and Grace and Joshua. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. You really do personify dedication, perseverance, and you really are the face of overcoming anything if you set your mind to it. Let's salute them tonight as they are here and they head off to college. Really some great stories. Love that, absolutely. Lori, I'll send it back to you up on stage with your guests.
All right, Calvin, I have 4 very special guests on stage. These are people in our community paving the way to help young people succeed. Right there, third from me here is Paul Wilson. He is the director of 5,000 Role Models of Excellence, which pairs at-risk young men with mentors. With him is one of those teens, James Ogabon. Also, right next to me, I have Velma Lawrence. She is the executive director of Embrace Girl Foundation, which provides similar leadership for young women. And Ashley Washington, a member of her program. Ashley, ladies first. How old were you when this program found you, and where were you heading? Down a wrong path?
I was about 7 years old in the 3rd grade, and I don't really think I was heading down a wrong path, but I did come from a single parent home and I was kind of shy and bashful, so the program helped me come out of that shell and be who I am today.
Why do you think the principal at your school found you and said, you need this program?
Probably, I was a pretty good student in school, so maybe she thought, oh, maybe she can help other children out her age, or maybe something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I was shy also, like I said, so I guess she thought the program would be good for me.
So this has built your confidence. And what is your message to other young people when they're starting to head down the wrong way?
Just keep believing, always stay true to yourself foremost, and keep education as a goal.
Velma, you run this program, Embrace Girls. Is it all about building confidence so girls make good choices?
Exactly. If they don't make good choices, especially early on, that's why we mentor early on in elementary school, because we can catch them, be able to allow them to instill the values that they need, character choices that they can make so that they can navigate through middle school. We also assist them with their homework, social skills, life skills. The parents are engaged, we're engaged with the teachers, so it's a wraparound service. We provide the assistance for the entire family.
Principals target these kids, they find them and come to you, but can parents also come to you?
They can. We do have a waiting list at our schools, but yes, if a parent is in need, if a child is failing academically, if a child is having behavioral issues in class, and the principal or school administrators feel that this program will help them, yes, they take priority. They are placed in the program, and their mentorship begins immediately.
James, I want to hear from you. We can't hear enough from the young people. How old were you when 5,000 Role Models found you, and where were you heading?
I believe a bigger milestone came into my life. It was 6 years ago. My father got deported, so I was faced with a choice. You can either submit yourselves to what society portrays you to be, or you can make a choice and make the right path. When I was around 5 years ago, I've been part of this program, and before it came as a choice, it could either be 6 feet under in a grave somewhere, or it could be locked behind bars. And I gladly I submitted myself to those choices. It wasn't until a great man named Jimmy Perry came up to me in my high school year, God rest his soul. He saw something in me that I had yet to see in myself. He knew who I was before I even knew what it was I was to become. He made me to become the role model who I am today, and I give every thanks to him because he has helped me to be the person who I am today. It doesn't really surprise me as to where it is, where I came from, as to where I am now, because it's a building process. When you fall down, you either have a choice. You can either stay down and be oppressed, or you could pick yourself up and make a better future.
I know Paul himself mentors you because your mentor passed away. What is your message to all of us as adults in the community? What can we do best to help young people and give them options? James, what do you think we can do?
I believe it's better to not look towards a gun and look towards the goals. I believe it's better to not waste brain cells on shenanigans and start looking towards aspirations.
Paul Wilson, how many kids do you have in your program?
We service 6,000 kids across Miami-Dade County.
Do you have a waiting list too, or are you able to service everyone?
I do have a waiting list of schools that want to join on, but with the support of our fantastic superintendent as well as our school board, we're expanding the program every day.
Now in James's case, an adult found him, but do we as adults need to find these kids? Do we need to open ourselves and be there when kids reach out for help?
I think it's imperative for us to open our ears and listen when kids are crying out for help. And we spend a lot of time talking over them, talking about them, trying to figure out ways to help them, but not enough time engaging them in the solution building process. And I think if we start to close our mouths a little bit and open our ears a little more, young men like James, young men like Angelo, and some of the other men in the audience can tell you exactly what's happening and exactly what can be done to right the wrongs and shift the paradigm of the young people that they go to school with and fellowship with every day.
Ashley, if there are young girls out there in crisis right now, they just feel like life is over, they're being talked about, they're not popular, what is your message to them?
Never let that get to you because it won't get you anywhere. Just stay strong, stay positive.
And reach out to an adult.
Always reach out.
Velma, Ashley, Paul, and James, thank you so much. And James and Ashley, we know you're going to be great role models in the future to others. You already are. And Calvin, I want to send it over to you.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to have to open a campaign office for James up there. He's a future politician. My goodness, he's one of the leaders in our community. Great answers that he gave. No doubt about it. I'm joined now by the Vice Mayor of the City of Miami Gardens, and Miami Gardens certainly no stranger to some of the headlines of young people and gun violence, but your city is not just sitting idly by and allowing this to happen. You guys have programs that you've started to help them engage, not just in sports, but outside of sports.
Exactly. It's so interesting. We're giving them choices. We believe that sports is really good on the parks, but we're also expanding that. We're starting programs with like a STEM initiative where we can do science, technology, engineering, mathematics for those students that may be interested in that. We also are looking at culinary arts and making sure that the students have that. If you want to be a rapper, well, we don't only want you to know about the music, we want you to be able to be a producer, so we're looking at having an art and culture program. It's just so many different things. We've partnered with 5,000 Role Models, so we work with them. We've partnered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, so we have students that come into the City Hall and work with our employees. So we recognize that we must engage our students, we must listen to them, we must just make them an active part. And so we're doing that in all of our different programs.
And there's also a police component to this as well.
Most definitely. Interesting you say that, because just tomorrow we'll be actually having Peace in the Gardens, which is started by our Chief of Police, where we're going to have them, our police and our residents, interacting. They'll be doing things like playing tug of war. But it's important for our residents to know that our police officers are a part of the community, and so that when they come into their neighborhoods, they're not afraid, but they have a relationship that they're building with them.
The Vice Mayor of the City of Miami Gardens, Felicia Robinson. Thank you for being here today. Next, we are going to take a look at a mentorship program and how that's growing in the county of Miami-Dade. And also, we're going to have a lot more coming up from the historic Lyric Theater. Thank you so much for joining us. We're coming right after a very quick break. Don't go away.
With me now, is a special guest, Aaron Willis. Aaron was just 15 years old when he was shot in a drive-by shooting. The bullet severed his spine and left him in this wheelchair. But Aaron didn't let that stop him from achieving his dreams. Aaron, tell us what your future holds now. What's next for you?
Well, right now, I'm graduating this year. I graduate June 1st. My
from high school? You graduated from high school?
Wow. Yeah, I'm graduating from Booker T. Washington. I plan on going to FIU and doing a double major for marketing and psychology.
So this wheelchair is not limiting you. You are moving forward.
Yeah, the only thing the wheelchair did was just made me look at stuff different. It's like since I don't have my legs, but I still have my brain.
And we have to point out, Aaron, you weren't the intended target. You were just caught up in this violence. What do you say to young people out there who are making these bad choices and getting innocent kids like you involved?
Well, I feel like we should just go back to when we used to fight. Well, I guess people got tired of fighting because, I mean, me personally, I know how to fight, so.
Hands are better than guns, right?
Yeah, because if you fight, you can live tomorrow. If you kill a nigga, he ain't gonna come back.
And you have learned you really appreciate living now.
I feel like when I got shot, it made me look at life different. Because before, I probably was going down the wrong path, but my grades was always good. So no matter what my situation was, I always made sure my grades was good.
When you see friends who are making bad choices, what do you say to them? Do you say, don't end up like me, get out of this?
Well, since I come from both sides, I also come from I actually have friends that kill people, that do stuff. Like I have like a real group of friends that's really out there like that. So for me personally, I feel like in order for us to just stop doing all that, we gotta just come together and just say we just gotta drop the guns, cause it's like I done lost like 3 homeboys this year already.
Drop the guns. Drop the guns. It's a good message, Aaron. Very simple. Drop the guns. You've lost 3 friends. You don't want to lose any more. You are a survivor. You're a star. We're going to be watching for you when you graduate. Booker T. All right. Congratulations. Calvin, I'll send it to you to
All
further
right,
the
and
conversation.
thank you. And Mr. Carvalho has said that he will make sure that Aaron walks across the stage. Not sure how that's going to happen, but he says he's going to make sure that happens, and he's going to be there. You know, Aaron talked about something that I think that's very important, that is fighting. And the fighting has moved from the streets to online to social media. Three men here now to talk about that is the Assistant Miami-Dade Police Director, Freddie Ramirez. Thank you so much for being here. The Police Chief of Miami, Rodolfo Yanez. Thank you so much. And Officer Malcolm Moise, thank you. And Chief, I'll begin with you. This is something that you and I talked about before the program. The fights have gone from the streets to online. How is this happening?
Well, I think it's important for us to recognize that there's been a shift in how our young people communicate. You know, we talk about, and when we were talking, you know, we are digital immigrants. We didn't start out with cell phones and communications, and now we have digital natives who grew up on the digital world. And so their communication is based on how they connect to the rest of the world. And so when you have a schoolyard fight, we didn't have the problem. There was a cool down period before you went back to school. There is no cool down period now. All your friends are watching you, and all your friends are egging you on, or the conflict never has a chance to dissipate. It continues to grow, and all your friends are watching. And so there is no chance for anybody to cool off, and that just escalates the issue. And so social media is the new book bag. There has to be supervision and monitoring of these kids' social media accounts. And if parents can't do it, there has to be an older cousin. There has to be an uncle. There has to be somebody in the family, somebody in the nuclear unit that says, hey, let me see what you got. Let me see your passwords. Let me see what you're talking about. Because it's important to look.
So, Freddie, this is a thing similar to what happened in the King Carter case, to where I get online. If I don't like you, I can put graffiti on your Facebook page, and this leads to a feeling of being disrespected.
Yes, sir. What we're seeing here is what I call a virtual graffiti. Back in my time when I was a kid, you had a problem with someone, you go to a wall, they would spray paint it, spray bad things about you, it get covered up, and something else is put on there. Now what they're doing, that's a digital footprint forever. So if I have a problem with you, you have 70 to 100 friends. I call you out, I call you a name, I threaten you with violence, take a picture with a firearm. Now that's going viral, because now you have people taunting you. What are you going to do about it? You know, and it sticks with you. It doesn't just go away from that moment. It gets retweeted. It comes back. The pictures are showing. So what happens is that if you don't have proper mentoring, if you don't have someone at home to give you guidance, how to handle that anger, that new world of anger, you're going to go to your primal instincts, and you're going to save your reputation at school, because at that young age, that's all that matters to them. And they're going to act on violence, and a lot of times it ends up on death.
And this is what happened with the killers in the King Carter case.
It's a component of it. There's been other murders of the same ilk where a child got online and got involved in a altercation between gangs, and he got suckered into it through that virtual world, and he paid the price with his life.
Malcolm, I know you've done a lot in the community, and Chief, I want to talk with you about this as well, the mentorship programs. Talk to me about your mentorship programs, because you have 15, 16-hour days as a result of dealing with the young people on the streets.
Yes, I created a track and field program, and when we think about track and field, we often think about sports. However, I just use that to cultivate their attention, because if I go up to a kid and say, hey, I want to put you in a program that's going to teach you this, they're going to tell me what a pound's saying. So I use track and field to get them in there. Now, once they're in the program, they get a chance to teach us basic things in life, such as culinary. We teach them how to put on simple things like deodorant and how to brush their teeth. We get the girls' fingernails done. We get them haircuts, and we prepare them for life. And we also have a portion there where we actually teach them how to eat at a table, the proper way of eating at a table.
Good man.
And I recruit most of my kids. I try to recruit that have bad behaviors, and I go into schools, which a lot of principals out there, they know me. I go into the schools and I ask for your worst kids, because it's my job as a mentor to change their behavior. And I can tell you the program has been very, very successful. And right now, we pretty much have them under control. And and that program's absolutely free. We don't charge them anything.
Thank you, and your work is certainly commendable in the community. And Chief, I began with you, I want to end with you. It sounds like one solution is conflict resolution, teaching them that not only in the home, but also in school as well.
That's the huge component, and I think Malcolm's an outstanding example of how you get involved in their lives and teach them basic skills to be able to socialize in a manner which is productive and positive. And so it's important for, community policing is not about what the director or the assistant director or the chief talk about. It's guys like Malcolm Moyes who go out and do the job.
Absolutely. Chief, thank you so much for your time. Chief Yanez, Miami City Police Department, and Freddie Ramirez, thank you so much, Miami-Dade Assistant Director, Malcolm Moyes, officer with the Miami City Police Department, been there for a very long time. Thank you all for being here. I wish we had more time, but we do not. I have to send it over now to my colleague here, Lori Jennings. Lori.
And we know that the best mentors out there can be and should be the parents, including the moms, who come together and work so hard to do everything they can to keep their kids on the right path. Recently, we've been hearing from a lot of them as they band together for support and wisdom. Let's listen.
My baby was 10 years old, and he lost his life playing basketball in front of his own yard. And 365 days, I cry, and I still cry for my baby. So to all you all, grandmas, mothers, fathers, hold on to your children. I would hate to see another mother and a father go through what I go through on a daily basis. No, I don't sleep at night. I go through depression. I have a lot of sleepless nights.
With me now is Tawana Atkins and Santonio Carter, the aunt and the father of little King Carter. We all know that name. We will never forget him. A 6-year-old boy who was shot and killed right outside his home. Oh, it's so emotional. Santonio, you had to find your son outside, but you have 3 other children to raise at home. What is your message to parents? What can you do to try to keep your kids safe?
It's really about uplifting and bringing unity back in the community. That's why I started a nonprofit organization, Save Our Kings, with initially, if we save our kings, we will save our queens. We bringing back resources like playing football, throw-up tackle, kickball, everything, even a learning environment where we could teach them tutorial events, teach them about God and be a God-fearing man and be evenly yoked with a woman and become one. Teach them who God is.
Is this helping you through your pain?
It's helping me a lot, because without my pastor, I tell you, I don't know where I'd be today. I thank Pastor Glenn Miller. He taught me a lot, and I learned. And Ecclesiastes 3:3 is a time to kill, is a time to break down, is a time to heal, and is a time to build up. And I say that to say this: we losing too many young getting killed. All the evil spirits need to get killed off. We could heal from that. We could build from that and build up, save our kings and save our queens, and make this community bring unity and bring a better place amongst all of us.
You are very strong, and thank you for doing this. Tawana, you are little King Carter's aunt. You teach and live in the community. What are you doing to try to bring about some change?
Well, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I'm doing 3 different things right now. Every Thursday, we have a rally, and actually students have joined in our rallies. It's Target 5 zip codes where all of this crime is happening at. We go from Miami Gardens to Opa-locka to Liberty City to Brown Sub, and then we take it to Overtown. We over there, we're marching, we're talking to people, we're making new friends, we trying to bring unity back in the community. Some days we able to afford pizza, we have pizza with the kids and stuff like that. Also, I started a Better Me Club. It's been going on for about a year now, where I have boys in the morning, and now the girls have joined in. They want to be
right, girl power.
Yes, they want to be part of just simply becoming a better me, because we all can become a better me. And just today, we kicked off Project Wreck Your Mind at Holmes Elementary School, and it's going to be dealing with the reading component, experiences, outside experiences like field trips and stuff like that, and then character development.
You two are doing so much. Yes. We love it. You are doing so much for the community. Thank you. We hope it helps you with your pain, and we know it's going to make a difference for others. Yes. Thank you both. King Carter will never be forgotten, and he has started this conversation. No doubt, he is the genesis of this. Up next tonight in our special town hall meeting, Achieving Greatness, a CEO, a lawyer, and a school superintendent sharing their paths to success, how they made a positive change in their own lives when we come back.
Some of you have gone online. We do want to share some of your comments right now. From Mr. Ben Evans, he writes, we've got to go in and be present in the lives of all of our young people. Amber wrote, growing up in the hood can't remain an excuse for failure. And finally, An unknown grandfather, he wrote, "Children don't make themselves into criminals. Lack of exposure to options is the teacher." We're joined now by our final panel for tonight to talk about success stories.
These people made their futures their choice, and they have really brought on the success.
We're going to talk about at the end right there is Robert Runcie. He is very familiar to all of us, the superintendent of Broward County Schools.
Jarrett Davis in the middle. He was born right here in Miami and is now managing partner for Greenberg Trorig's Miami office.
And Tina Howell. She grew up in Coconut Grove. She owns 2 Wingstop franchises and a home health agency, a true entrepreneur in this community.
Tina, ladies first. That's our theme tonight. Okay. Girl power, ladies first. When in your life were you headed down the wrong way, and did you make a visible choice for success?
It was a choice. I grew up in Coconut Grove before there was a Cocoa Walk. It was the hood. And back when crack cocaine was popular, single parent home, my mom didn't have an education. My best grades in high school up until 11th grade were F+.
Wow.
And I saw poverty all around. My mom struggled. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. And there were few kids in the community in 2-parent homes with supportive parents. And I said, gosh, their lives are different from mine. I want something better. I didn't want to struggle. I didn't want to be poor forever. And I just made a choice to find a way to make a better life for myself than my mom and my family members had made for themselves at the time.
All about choices and all about exposure to seeing other positive people in your community. Speaking of that, Robert Runcie, Harvard graduate from Jamaican immigrants whose parents never even finished the 3rd grade from understanding, or went farther than the 3rd grade. Some people think that you have to be great to achieve greatness. What was the difference for you?
I think it's working really hard. A couple lessons I would say. One is to recognize that use your failures and challenges as motivation to be successful. I had a very tough time when I was in a 6th grader, even was suspended from school that year. I used that as motivation to work hard, be my best, became the top student in my class. The other thing I would say is that don't ever be afraid to ask for help. I believe that every young person is one caring adult away from success. And what I try to do in Broward County, working with our wonderful staff and administrators, is to really push and support mentoring. We have over 2,000 adults that are working to support several thousand children in the district, providing over 60,000 hours of mentoring each year. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for a mentor, a science teacher I had in high school, who showed me how to navigate the process to apply for college, apply for scholarships and financial aid. And I believe if every student can get that type of mentoring, support, and information, they can be a success as well.
Awesome.
Jarrett, was there an adult in your life? You were born here, raised in Miami. Was there an adult in your life that turned you the right way?
There's always an adult that helps us each. I think first and foremost, my parents were instrumental. But then there were several teachers. I'm a proud graduate of the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, go Miami-Killian. And there were several teachers in that process that really, and how they did that was they believed in me. You know, they encouraged. It's very difficult when you're a young child. We talked about this throughout. There's a lot of doubts. That's true no matter where you are. And so to have those adults in your life that believe in you and say, we're going to invest in you. The ultimate path to success to me is living for someone else.
Wow.
And so when mentors live for you, when your teachers live for you, and you see that commitment, you see all of these leaders out here, law enforcement, the superintendents, et cetera, living for you, you realize I have an obligation to be successful.
Yeah, you have a reason to live and not a reason to die. And Robert, I want to get some final thoughts from you for not only the children who are out here looking, but some of the kids who are at home watching television. I know my kids better be watching right now. But some final thoughts for them about achieving success.
Well, you know, I'd say don't let anyone dampen your dreams, right? Our young people, as I say, our young bodies wrapped around a dream. It is our responsibility to work to make sure that your dreams are reality. You can achieve anything that you want, just need to continue to work hard. Don't let anyone put a damper on it.
And Tina, finally, what would you say to young people if they're just on the cusp of bad choices?
Don't give up. Don't give up. I
I did the first Wingstop restaurant in Dade County because I ate wings and said, I love it, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna become a Wingstop owner. And I did it. At 17, I said, I'm gonna stop making D's and F's and find someone to help me learn how to study and become an A student, and I did it. It didn't matter who was failing around me. I decided to succeed.
Love it. Jared, final thoughts from you. Love that, Tina. Love it. Jared, final thoughts from you.
Final thoughts would be committed to your community and know yourself. You have to be committed to your community and know yourself, because once you know yourself, no one can take that from you. I was smiling when you showed Hadley Park up there. My initial home was from Liberty City, and that park, our house was across the street from it.
Wow.
So you have to know your history, know yourself. That will lead to commitment to community. That will lead to you living for others.
Wow. Change can come in the smallest of places. There's no doubt about it.
Now you're on Brickell Avenue, making a difference for people, representing people, and being a mentor. We know you all mentor, and thank you. Tina, Jarrett, and Robert, success stories. There is a great choice out there. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we have something to show you here. These bands, everyone, they have them in the audience, and we have them here on stage. There's a reason why we are wearing this, and when we come right back, we'll show you why we are banding together. This is a symbol of hope for all of us and for this community and for the city of Miami.
We want to ask everyone in this room who has lost someone to gun violence to stand up now and hold up your wristband to the air. Please stand up. King Carter's dad and aunt. Everyone here who has lost a loved one to gun violence. There are too many of you here. Oh, it is hard to see. There are so many of you here. Maybe 40 of you here who have lost a relative to gun violence.
It's a reminder that if we spread the message together by wearing these bands, that we can certainly make a change. Let's band together, and that's why it is so important that we give everyone a chance to find out how we can do that.
We'd like everyone to stand and support now and support these people who are standing. Hold up your wristband. My future, my choice is a powerful statement. Wow. It's been an hour of power, and we hope all of you who've lost a loved one to gun violence feel the support and the love in this room. We do want to keep this conversation going, and if you would like to wear one of these wristbands over the next few weeks and months during our year-long initiative that is going to keep going, we encourage you to log on to local10.com to get yours. Go to the homepage. You'll see a place to click on the Let's Band Together link. Fill out that form, and let's keep the conversation going online.